Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to discuss about 18th century India. The Mughal Empire was one of the largest dynasties of kings that ruled for the longest time in India. Akbar, Jahangir and Shah Jahan were some of the greatest rulers of the Mughal Empire. Aurangzeb was the last important Mughal ruler. He died in 1707 CE. After him, the empire declined rapidly. The provincial governors started asserting their independence. The Mughal Empire, however, still existed for more than 1.5 centuries. The kings who ruled after Aurangzeb were called the later Mughals. Important later Mughals. Bahadur Shah. He was also known as Shah Alam. Bahadur Shah succeeded in making peace with the Marathas and the Rajputs, though his reign barely lasted for 5 years. Jahandar Shah. He succeeded Bahadur Shah. During his reign, two brothers, Hussein Ali Khan Baraha and Abdullah Khan Baraha, popularly called the Said brothers, became very powerful. They wanted Jahandar Shah to become a puppet in their hands. Soon, Farrukh Siyar, Jahandar's nephew, overthrew him with the help of the Said brothers. Farrukh Siyar. The Said brothers dominated the court of Farrukh Siyar. He granted permission to the British authorities for duty-free trade with Bengal. This is called the Golden Fairman. When Farrukh Siyar tried to free himself from the clutches of the Said brothers, he too was killed. Muhammad Shah. Muhammad Shah ascended the throne in 1719 with the help of Said brothers. He was able to overthrow the Said brothers. Nadir Shah invaded and looted Delhi in 1739 during his reign. Nadir Shah was the ruler of Persia. Shah Alam II. He was also known as Ali Gauhar. The British attacked Delhi in 1803 during his reign. Bahadur Shah Zafar. He was the last Mughal emperor. He ascended the throne at an old age. He was better known as a poet than an emperor. He patronized famous poets and writers. Mirza Ghalib was the most famous among them. The rebels declared him the Emperor of India during the revolt of 1857. Zafar was imprisoned by the British after the failure of the revolt. He was exiled to Rangoon, Burma. He died in 1862 in Rangoon. His demise marked the end of the 3 centuries old Mughal rule in India. Reasons for decline of the Mughal Empire. There were several reasons for the decline of the Mughal Empire. Let's examine them one by one. Aurangzeb's policies. Aurangzeb discontinued the time-tested policies of his forefathers. He imposed jizya on Hindus, destroyed temples, and raised land revenue and taxes. These policies made him an unpopular ruler. He began interfering in the internal matters of the Rajput rulers. Therefore, he lost the support of Rajputs. They were a very strong ally of the Mughals since Akbar's time. His land revenue policies caused several revolts. His disastrous Deccan policy drained the royal treasury. Thus, his policies led the empire towards decline. Wars of succession. The law of succession in the Mughals was not very clear. almost every time there was a ruthless war of succession when a Mughal king died. These wars drained the resources of the empire and made it unstable. Weak successors of Aurangzeb. The successors of Aurangzeb were weak and inefficient. They didn't take active part in the administration. They left the affairs of the empire in the hands of nobles and governors. Many of these nobles and governors established independent regional kingdoms. Rivalry among the nobles. The nobles of the Mughal court were divided into many segments like Afghans, Turanis, Iranis, and Hindustanis. The Afghans came from the mountainous border regions across the river Indus. The Iranians come from Persia. The Turanis were from Transoxiana. These nobles constantly struggled with one another for power. This hampered the smooth functioning of the administration. Jagirdari and Mansabdari crisis. The Mughal introduced the Jagirdari system. The officers were given jagirs in place of salary for their services to the empire. Jagir was a piece of land. Very few jagirs were left as the number of officers increased manifold. This was the Jagirdari crisis. Thus, crown lands were converted into jagirs to meet the demand. This led to a decrease in the king's revenue. Mansabdari system was introduced by Akbar. Mansab was a rank in the military and civil administration. A person who was given a mansab was called a mansabdar. He had to maintain a fixed quota of troops. To meet his expenses, he was given the right to collect revenue from the given jagir. This system was the backbone of the Mughal Empire. It began facing crisis towards the end of the 17th century, as the number of mansabdars increased manifold. They did not maintain the required number of troops. This weakened the Mughal army. Weak army. The failure of the Mansabdari system and lack of modernization made the Mughal army very weak. Therefore, it became easy for foreign invaders to defeat the Mughal rulers. Foreign invasions. Nadir Shah took advantage of these weaknesses. He was the ruler of Persia. He invaded India in 1739. He easily defeated the Mughal army and marched towards Delhi. He killed thousands of people in Delhi. Nadir Shah looted the enormous wealth and took the famous Kohinoor diamond and the peacock throne. Kohinoor is considered to be one of the biggest and most precious diamonds in the world. After Nadir Shah's death, his commander Ahmad Shah Abdali invaded India. He looted Delhi several times. These foreign invasions defeated the glory and prestige of Mughal Empire and fastened its decline. Challenges from regional kingdom. The governors of Bengal, Awadh and Hyderabad became powerful during the reign of the later Mughals. They eventually stopped paying taxes. They began disobeying the orders of the Mughal emperor. They declared themselves independent. By the middle of the 18th century, the Mughal Empire ruled only the area around Delhi. Thank you. This topic will be continued in the next part.